Hello everyone, this is StichRulez, and I want to talk about today's card, Titanocider. Effect goes as target one face-up monster your opponent controls that was special summoned from the extra deck, changes attack to 0, and if you do, negate its effects. If your opponent special summons a monster from the extra deck while this card is in your graveyard, except the turn this card was sent to the graveyard, you can set this card. You can only use each effect of Titanocider once per turn. This card is from the Selection Box Volume 8, and it's from the new release that just came out. Well, if you think about it, you can make comparisons of the trap card Lost Wind, and basically it kind of has that recursion effect where you can negate an effect, but this card allows you to recur as opposed to Lost Wind. It banishes it after it's being used, which, depending on the type of situation, Lost Wind could be more powerful, but in comparison, recyclability and resources, Titanocider is definitely, in my opinion, a very, very strong card, better in most situations, and considering it's not limit 3 in Duel Links, you can use this in conjunction with other powerful trap cards without having to worry about the limit 3 as of right now. So that has a complete edge over Lost Wind if you're considering utilizing one of the either. But the recursion effect, I think, is very underrated if you think about it. And this card is very, very useful when it comes to mirror matches. Right now, Heroes is probably going to be tier 0, the way more and more players are utilizing that deck. And if you think about it, in mirror matches, this card is so strong, because you can basically take Elemental Heroes. They're basically, their main strategy is summoning huge, strong monsters with high attack points. And if you can get this card on the field, and also, say if you're going first in a mirror, you can utilize this card, pop their card, change it to 0, and that could instantly end their turn, especially if they have their most powerful boss monster and Neos. So you have to making sure you either negate their effect from effect failure, or use Titanocider to negate its effect and change it to 0. But I think this card is going to be a key card when it comes to mirror matches, especially in tier 0, high tier 0, 1, or tier 1 formats, where primarily there's such a influence and just majority of players just utilizing one deck compared to other decks. This will be a huge edge for players using this card because, again, the recursion factor should not be underestimated, and there's no downside, absolutely no downside, that you will get penalized for recycling. It doesn't banish. So the only time this card is not going to be able to activate its effect is if, like, say if the opponent in draw phase uses Mystical Space Typhoon or Galaxy Cyclone. And in those cases, yes. If they have the out, of course they have the out, and there's nothing you can do about that. But think about that. If there's so many decks that rely on their normal summon or to get the engine going, or if they rely on powerful monsters to spam the board, and you can knock out a key card and change it to 0 and making sure you change the momentum of the game and allowing you to take more further control of board presence and advantage. So although this card is from the Selection Box Volume 8, it's not from a main box, the long-term approach on this card is very good, and the fact, and I can't say any more, but the fact that this card is not limit 3, you can you can theoretically utilize 3 copies of this card, which you don't probably not going to need 3 copies, but 2, and without no downside, no limit 3, no limit 2, no limit 1, or anything like that. This is completely generic, unlimited. That is very, very interesting and should not be underestimated at all. In conjunction of, you can utilize other powerful trap cards. So you have this recursion 1 trap card that can keep putting itself on the field, and then you can continuously utilize your own strategy. So you have a basically continuous board negate over and over again. And I definitely will. I definitely think this is going to see high level of competitive play with decks that utilizes heavy trap cards as their board control. Paleozoic is pretty good with wanting to utilize trap cards. Light Twin as well. Elemento Neos Hero decks that is primarily being used as of right now is going to really want to see this card, especially in the mirror match, because again, you're going to have to find an edge where you're facing the same powerful monsters on the board and their effects trigger after each other. This card, the fact that it can change the monster's attack to 0 can really just slow them down completely in a variety of different strategies. So, but especially when it comes to mirror matches, because that 0 attack shifts the momentum completely and allows you to take advantage in that 1 turn skip. As you know, Duel Links is super fast paced, especially at the highest level. Getting your board quickly and being able to utilize your strategy as quickly as you can is going to be key. And Titanocider makes that much more possible with giving players a clear advantage of it. So if you're considering this card, I would definitely at least get 1 copy, because the fact that this recursion value can continuously happen without no downside, and it's unlimited. You have no you can use it with any deck basically, and then it works so well with board negate, and every viable and competitive strategy relies on monster effects. So for the most part, so I hope you enjoyed this video. Consider reviewing and getting this card, because again, there's so much upside and there's very little downside to this card. So thanks again for watching, and have a great day.